at both shear regions. And to help to install the embedded bars, holes were prepared within the shear spans of the concrete core by installing the acrylic rods before the concrete poured. Later, these acrylic rods were removed 2 days after casting, and the holes were cleaned with the help of wire brush or compressed air to remove any cement or aggregate residues. The lower end of the holes, like these figures, was sealed temporarily, and a high-strength epoxy resin was injected into the holes to fill 2/3 of the hole's volume from the upper end of the holes. And the embedded steel bars were covered with a thin layer of epoxy and then inserted into the holes. For the experimental setup, the beams were simply supported on a hinge and rollers and were tested under a 4-point bending loading system. During the test, instrumentation were mounted to measure load and displacement at the midspans of the specimen. A 300 kilonewton capacity load cell was used to measure the load, and a 100 millimeter stroke of LVDT was utilized to measure the displacement at the midspan. And all the measurement was sent to data logger and recorded by a data acquisition system. For the material properties, reinforced concrete beams were cast separately in different batch with a maximum aggregate size of 20 mil. A standard test conducted on a cylinder showed that the average concrete compressive strength of beam A and beam B was 17 and 19 megapascal. Based on tensile test, the bottom longitudinal reinforcement and the embedded bars had yield and the ultimate strength of 362 megapascal and 532 megapascal. Whereas the yield, the ultimate strength of top longitudinal bars and stirrups were 373 and 500 megapascal respectively. Sorry. Result, we look at the crack propagation. This figure shows the crack pattern of beam A, which is the control specimen. Illustration of crack propagation for both specimens can be seen. In general, the minor flexural crack was observed at midspan specimen beam A during the early stage of loading, while the diagonal tension failure developed at the final stage of loading. The first crack in the vertical direction started to develop at midspan, where the moment bending is the highest. With increased loading, cracks propagated to the shear span, forming a flexural and shear cracks, which were typically shown by inclined line at a certain angle from the bottom of the beam to the loading point, and at the end of test of beam A, shear cracks become wider and visible. This one is the crack pattern of beam B of the strengthened specimen. Similar to the control specimens, cracks on specimen beam B were initially observed on the midspan, and with increased loading, these cracks developed in the moment region in the vertical direction and propagated towards the neutral axis of the specimen. Throughout the test, flexural cracks kept developing within the flexural span. And it is possible to compare the crack density of the two specimens later. The embedded steel bars applied on the shear span, it seems that prevent cracks propagated to the shear spans as the shear force is transferred from the concrete to the embedded steel bars. Next, the failure mode. Now we can compare the failure mode for those two specimens. The control specimen, this one, experienced a shear diagonal tension failure mechanism. This failure was characterized by shear damage in the form of diagonal cracks developed in the shear spans accompanied by the splitting action along the concrete surface and triggered the spalling of the concrete. On the other hand, the strengthened specimen showed the enhanced behavior where it fell in flexural tension in which most damage existed in the flexural span. Now we can say that the DE strengthening method applied on the specimen was able to shift the failure from shear failure on beam A to the flexural failure on the beam B. Now we can see the maximum load capacity. Maximum shear force capacity attained by the control specimen was 53.1 kilometer. And a significant contribution of the embedded steel bars can be seen in the shear force that the strengthened beam can withstand on this figure. The shear force capacity of the strengthened specimen was 69.6. It shows an increase of 31% compared to that of the control specimen. So for the conclusion, in the study, tests were conducted on the control beam as well as the strengthened beam. The control beam failed in shear, where the strengthened beam failed in a ductile manner, where most cracks propagated in the flexural span, showing that the embedded steel bars were successfully shifted the failure from shear to flexure. And furthermore, the shear force capacity of the strengthened beam was enhanced by about 31% compared to that of the control beam. For the acknowledgement, we thanks for the PPA University for financial support and staff at Concrete Laboratory in the Civil Engineering Department, University for technical support. Thank you very much. And questions can be sent to my email address, ridwan@university. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Ridwan, for nice presentation. I would like to invite everyone if have questions for Pak Ridwan. Anyone? Okay. Pak Ridwan, is this beam already applied or applicable in Indonesia, Pak Ridwan?
Not yet. It is just a laboratory research, but it is in full scale.
Oh, it is in full scale. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone have question for Pak Ridwan, please?
Yeah, maybe you can send it later to my email address.
Okay, if you have further question, you can contact Pak Ridwan at his email. Thank you very much, Pak Ridwan, for your presentation.
You're welcome, Bu Evelyn.
Okay, we will move on to the next presentation. Pak Juandi, are you already available? Not yet. Still, Pak Yusra?
I think Pak Juandi is there.
Yeah, okay.
Pak Juandi already?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, already.
Oh, okay. Please, Pak Juandi, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Now I want to present about this is the my presentation is just okay. My title, the title of my presentation is Assessment of Groundwater Quality based on geoelectric and hydrogeochemical parameters around slaughterhouses of Pekanbaru City, Indonesia. Introduction. Groundwater is a natural resources that is widely used for consumption, activity, agriculture, and industry. This is we know many factors that affect of can affect of the potency of groundwater. Population, water population, and industry, and how to interpretation about groundwater management. We can use geoelectric method and geochemical and hydrogeochemical. This is a map of the reset location. I use to track about geoelectric measuring point and well water sampling point. We use a five sample, so this can interface about groundwater in this area. And then this is a risk estimator tool how to study of groundwater. We use a risk estimator, and this is activity of geoelectrical measurement in the location. I use slumber configuration geoelectric resistivity. This is how to make experiment in the field. This is a geoelectric configuration slumber. This is a potential electrode, and this is current electrodes. And result and discussion. We get 5 parameters in the area: BOD, COD, TDS, PHEL, and then classification is depend on QWI, and so we get all of the sample can we see is good. This is no pollution in the area. And this is the result of geoelectrical resistivity. This is we can see this observed data, and this is calculate data. So the data from the field we input to software, vertical electroding software. So we get like this. This is the data, observed data, and the calculate data. So this is
Pak Juandi? Can anyone hear Pak Juandi?
No, I think no signal.
I think he lost his signal. Halo Pak Juandi? Pak Juandi? Or maybe we can, Pak Juandi, you can continue after. Admin, are you present to play the video from, or the voice PPT from Lamberto Tronchin?
I'm sorry, this is the problem in my internet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Please
Hello.
continue, Pak Juandi.
This is problem. Yeah, internet is any problem here. Thank you. I continue
Yes.
my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the geometric data, so we I make the model about distribution groundwater in this.
Sorry, can you share your screen? Yeah.
This is my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can make the model, the distribution, the groundwater in the study, in the area of the study. That. So the groundwater is raw from track 1 to track 2, and also from track 3 to track 2. This is flow groundwater in the study. So the conclusion from my research, so we get the potential groundwater in the area can we use for consumption, for residential and for community in the area. No, is still safety, nothing pollution, and then very high potential groundwater in the area, so can also be used for industry use. Thank you, Felin.
Oh yeah, thank you, Prof. Juandi, for the nice presentation. I would like to invite everyone, if you have question, please. Anyone have questions? Prof. Juandi, are there any limitation for the research, like what you want to do further for this research?
Okay, from this research, we can recommend it to government, or maybe you know, for how to use the land, in the area. This area can use for settlement, and this area can use for industry. So in our study here, government can use the land for settlement and also for industry. So no problem if government use this area for industry. This is Felin for future this research from research.
Thank you, Prof, for the explanation. Anyone? Because we still have plenty of time, I think. If there isn't anyone else would like to asking questions, so thank you very much, Prof. Juandi, for your nice presentation.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. So I would like to check whether Pak Yusra Auliasari, I don't know whether Pak or Bu Yusra Auliasari, are you available now? No, if everyone agrees, someone from session 2, we have plenty of time in this per session actually. Someone from session 2, Pak Baharudin, are you available? Pak Baharudin? No. Pak Winaldi? Are you available? Not yet. Pak Kelly or Bu Kelly Alvarado, are you available? No?
Yes, I'm here. I'm Kelly.
Oh, okay. So, okay, Miss Kelly Alvarado will present her research title, Use of Operating Training Simulation in the Study of Ethanol Operating Conditions, a powerful tool for education and research performance improvement. Please, the time is yours.
Thank you. Can you see the slide?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, thank you. Hello everybody, I'm Kelly Alvarado, and now I'm going to talk about our investigation based in the production of bioethanol using OTS with microorganisms Saccharomyces cerevisiae. The members of this research are Kelly Alvarado, Julián Bayona, Joan Consuegra, Diana Parada, Natalia Sepúlveda, and Professor Herman Heldes. We implemented an operational training simulator developed by University of Bremen from Germany, and we carry out 5 types of simulation using bioprocess training software. And we could find that one of them obtained a ethanol productivity of 0.037 grams over liter per hour using 20 grams over liter of glucose. So currently, coronavirus pandemic has affected one of the most important sectors worldwide. These are education and research. And this is because we can assist in a physical institution. For this, we implemented an operational training simulator that is a virtual simulation that allows for professional and engineers do it or carry out several types of bioprocess. And one of the most important advantage of this is that can allow energy savings and improve the quality of the final product. For this, we, as a practical examples, we propose in this research the study of the ethanol production in a continuous bioreactor using Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So, continuous mode reactor always contain a constant volume, and we have to finishing and removing substrate and product during all the process. On the other hand, Saccharomyces cerevisiae is a microorganism that use glucose as an energy source for reaching all the biochemical reaction that finally can bear in ethanol productions. For this, we carry out 5 types of simulation using factorial design with a central point, implemented the parameter that is in the table 1, and we can see 3 different values from substrate and 3 different values from feed rate. Here we can see all the simulations that we implemented. Simulation 1 or simulation A contained 10 grams over liter of glucose at 1 milliliter per minute. Simulation 2, 20 grams over liter at 5 milliliter per minute. Simulation 3, 10 grams over liter at 5 milliliter per minute. Simulation 4, 20 grams over liter at 1 milliliter per minute. And finally, simulation 5, 15 grams over liter at 2 milliliter per minute. So before to start all the process of all the simulation in continuous mode, we must be simulate in batch mode using the data in the table too. And we did it for obtain as many cells as possible that will serve during the fermentation process. And here the figure 3 shows the input parameter that we implemented in all the simulation. This can be temperature and inoculum concentration, antifoam, and the others. And here the figure 2 shows the interface that bioprocess trainer. And something important for remember is that we took samples every 2 hours of simulations. And here we can see all the results. Here the figure 4 shows the results of kinetic studies. And in this graphic, we can see that blue line show the biomass, green line represent ethanol, and red line represent glucose. And here for fermentation 1 and fermentation 3, we obtain highest biomass, and for fermentation 2, obtain highest glucose. And here for fermentation 4 and fermentation 5, we obtain high biomass too. But we focus in the ethanol production. So here the simulation 2 obtained the maximum concentration of ethanol being 2.93 grams over liter during the first day. However, simulation 3 obtained 2.27 grams over liter at 15 hours. So we could find the maximum growth rate and the dilution rate, but first we focus in the theory of continuous reactor, and this say that if maximum growth rate is greater than the dilution rate, the biomass will accumulate in the reactor. But if dilution rate is greater than maximum growth rate, a phenomenon called washout will occur. And this is so unfavorable because all the biomass is eliminated of the bioreactor. For this, we obtain that in all the case, in all the simulation, a value of maximum growth rate being 0.21, and this value was greater than all the dilution rate in all the simulation. So we obtain that all the biomass is accumulated in the reactor. Here, the figure 5 show the biomass and the ethanol productivity rates. And here, the red bar represent biomass productivity and the blue bars represent ethanol productivity. And here we obtain that simulation 2 obtain the highest product and biomass volumetric being 0.0375 and 0.0508 grams over liter per hour using a dilution rate of 0.03. And for simulation 1, obtain the lowest values being 0.0071 and 0.0174 grams over liter per hour using a dilution rate 0.05. And we could find evident that it was evident that dilution rate is directly related the dilution rate is directly related to volumetric productivities. Here, the figure 6, the purple bars represent biomass yield, and the black bar represent ethanol yields. So we obtain that in simulation 1, obtain the highest biomass yield being 0.40 grams over grams. And the simulation 3 we obtain the highest product yield, being 0.23 grams over grams, using a flow rate of 5 milliliters per minute. And we also could find a direct relationship between ethanol yield and feed flow. And here in the figure 7, we can see the specific speed of substrate consumption, and we could find that simulation 2 obtained the highest consumption rate, being 0.11 grams over liter per hours, using biomass volumetric productivity being 0.0375 grams over liter per hours. And also we could find a direct relationship between a specific speed of substrate consumption and biomass volumetric productivity. And this is so true because when Saccharomyces cerevisiae grow up, use the substrate of this glucose, in this case, for growth, for maintain her, for generate product, and maintain her metabolic pathways. So here we can see all the values of all the values that we can obtain in all the simulations, and we can see also that simulations 2 and simulation 3 obtain similar values. However, the glucose feed in simulation 2 was 20 grams over liter, and simulation 3 glucose feed was 10 grams over liter. So in conclusion, bioprocess trainer software allows carry out several types of simulation in continuous mode and other types of bioprocess. And this OTS is a potential advantage to face challenge because allows energy savings and improve the quality of the final product. And one of the most important conclusions of this research is that simulation 3 was the most efficient when comparing parameters such as production capacity and total process time, showing 2.27 grams over liter in only 4 days using only 10 grams over liter.
Okay, thank you very much, Kelly Alvarado, for your very smooth presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone has question to Kelly?
Okay, I want a question.
Yeah, please, Pak Juandi.
Okay, very nice your explanation. We know this simulation maybe is also use need validation. You know, Kelly, validation. How we can say the simulation is true, is good without validation. We must use error, you know, error of the simulation. Maybe every simulation must be error like this. How about your simulation? Do you have error in the model or no? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, also because with a simulation that human controlling is subject to can be or obtain errors, but for this research, errors was lows, or the values of errors is lows. Also we hope to base or best the process for obtain minimal errors in this research.
So have you ever validated your software, your program?
The program that we use was Bioprocess Trainer, and this developed by University of Bremen from Germany.
Okay. So were the temperature and pH were optimized too?
Yes, we use temperature of 35, 37 in this range.
Okay. So any more question from audience? Okay, if not, thank you very much, Kelly, for your presentation.
Thank you for all.
Okay, next presentation will be Nur Asmi Prasetyo. Are you available? Nur Asmi Prasetyo? Not yet. How about Arianida Yunaira? Yeah, can you increase the volume? The volume? Okay, Rianida research paper entitled Hyposensitivity Test of Lactobacillus fermentum inacesi B1295 probiotic bacteria on the growth of mustard greens Brassica juncea L. The time is yours, Rianida.
Yeah. Okay. I will present the results of research entitled Hyposensitive Test of Lactobacillus fermentum inacesi B1295 probiotic bacteria on the growth of mustard greens or Brassica juncea L. Probiotics are adequate amount of live microorganisms that provide health benefits to their host. Probiotics can improve health because these bacteria can suppress the growth of pathogenic bacteria. Probiotic has never been studied for biological concern in plants. However, several researchers have found several species of lactobacillus are able to plant high growth, increase in leaf number, increase the total weight. Is probiotic Lactobacillus fermentum inacesi B1295 is probiotic bacteria isolated from curd, fermented buffalo milk, which are typical of Riau and West Sumatra province. Lactobacillus fermentum inacesi B1295 is bacteria that have great potential as probiotic for humans and animals, but are also thought to have potential as probiotic for plants. Because Lactobacillus fermentum inacesi B1295 is bacteria that originate from milk-growing media, it is necessary to the comparability of Lactobacillus fermentum inacesi B1295 in plants and their effect on plant growth. Mustard greens or Brassica juncea L is a vegetable crop commodity that has high economic value. Also, its selling value is strongly influenced by the quality of its visual appearance. The last few years, mushroom production in Pekanbaru City, Riau Province has decreased. Master production in 2013 was there 3,484 tons, and 2014 was there was 3,190 tons, and in 2015 was only 1,540 tons. Research purpose. But on the explains about the aims of this study are to determine whether the probiotic bacteria Fermentum inacisi B1295 were able to adapt or compatible to mustard greens. Knowing the effect of the probiotic bacteria Fermentum inacisi B1295 on the growth of mustard green, and then obtain the best concentration for the growth of mustard green. Methods. The material used were Lactobacillus fermentum inacisi B1295 isolate, mustard seed, and MRSB media, soil, manure, and sterile distilled water. While the tools used were test tube, laminar airflow test tube, and polybags. The study consists of several stages, include bacterial propagation, dilution of 10 power 5, 10 power 6, 10 power 7 CBU per milli, and preparation of soil medium, nursery, planting, application, and observation and data analysis. Parameters, plant height, number of leaves, total weight. Data were analyzed using SPSS version 913 and ANOVA, then followed by Duncan's new multiple rank test or DNMRT at 5% level and presented in a table. Result and discussion. Height of mustard green. In table 1, it can be seen that the treatment using L-fermentum inacisi B1295 was significantly different from the control. Dilution for 10 power 5 is the dilution that gives the highest value on the observation of plant height each week. Leaf number. Table 2 show that the treatment using L-fermentum inacisi B1295 was significantly different from the control. Dilution 10 power 5 is the dilution that gives the highest value on the observation on the number of leaves each week. And wet weight. The table 3 can be seen that the treatment using L-fermentum inacisi B1295 was significantly different from the control. And then dilution 10 power 5 is the dilution that gives the high value in the wet weight observation. Conclusion. Lactobacillus fermentum inacisi B1295 probiotic bacteria are able to adapt their leaf or compatible to mustard green. Lactobacillus fermentum inacisi B1295 probiotic bacteria can have a positive effect on the growth of mustard green. And then the dilution 10 power 5 CBU per milli dilution is a good treatment to stimulate the growth of mustard plant. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Rianida, for the presentation. Any question from other presenters? Are there any further research that you want to do after find out the 10 to the 5 dilution rate is the best stimulator for your green mustard, Rianida?
Sorry?
Are there any further research you would like to carry out? Any limitation for your research?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, maybe we. Can you hear me, Rianida? No? Okay. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Shall we move on to the next presenter? Nur Islami. Is there anyone as representative of Nur Islami? No? So I will call once more Bobby Rahman. Is Bobby Rahman available? How about Yusra? Yusra Aulia Sari? Are you available? Winaldi? Winaldi, are you available? Winaldi? No? Okay, let's move to my presentation then. Because there was a technical difficulty, so I just managed to transfer my my PPT to this new computer. So I will share my presentation. So can you see my presentation now?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Okay. Our research is titled Thermal Inactivation of Penicillium javanicum ascospore in Pineapple Juice, Effect of Temperature, Soluble Solids, and Spore Age. And here are our themes. Okay, I would like to start by showing you these two items. First is microorganism in food, and the secondly is endogenous food enzymes. Both of these items can deteriorate the quality of food. If the microorganisms are pathogenic, they can cause illness in human. So the process of reducing numbers of microorganisms in foods, or the process of reducing the native enzyme activity in foods, is called pasteurization. This process can increase food shelf life and promotes food safety. Bacterial spores and mold ascospore are food safety and spoilage concerns. They can be a spoilage concern in high acid foods, causing economic loss concern. The example of microorganisms are such as Bisocalamis, Eupenicillium species, Alicyclobacillus acidoterrestris. Our focus today is Eupenicillium species. And the microorganisms that are food safety concerned in low acid foods are Psychrotrophic Clostridium botulinum, Bacillus cereus, and Clostridium perfringens. So for the pasteurization, we need to reduce minimum 5 to 6 log reduction in target microorganism or total inactivation of enzyme based on that following equation that you can see in the screen. We use the pasteurization process using heat processing or thermal pasteurization. Why? Because it's still the most widely applied technology and allows inactivation of heat-resistant microbial spores and enzymes, and also it can preserve food quality. So here I show you one example how milk is pasteurized. First, it enters the storage and then it heat treated at certain time, at certain temperature. Minimum for milk is usually at 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. And then it's cool, for example, by using ice water. But before that, before the heat treatment was carried out, it should be clarified to remove dirt. And then after heat treatment, it will be taken to intermediate storage and finally filling. So our objective is trying to inactivate Eupenicillium javanicum spores in pineapple juice and investigate the effect of temperature, the effect of soluble solids, and the effect of ascospore age on the log reduction of these fungi. And lastly, we want to model the inactivation of the spores in pineapple juice after thermal treatments. For the model, we use first order kinetics, as you can see the equation, because we observe linearity in the survival curves. So we extracted the parameter values, D values and Z values. D values are the times in minute at certain temperature necessary to reduce microbial population by 90%. And Z value in degrees Celsius is the temperature increase that results in tenfold decrease in the decimal reduction value. So the microorganism we use is Eupenicillium javanicum. We use pineapple juice because pineapple are abundant in tropical countries such as Indonesia, and the processing conditions we use temperature around 80 to 90 degrees and soluble solids between 11 to 20 Brix, and the age of ascospore, the time that we incubate the spores is between 30 to 60 days. This is the results, the effect of temperature in the log reduction, 5 log reduction of 30-day-old Eupenicillium javanicum ascospore. As can seen from the graphs that increasing the temperature from 80 to 90 degrees decrease the time required to inactivate the 5 log reduction. To obtain 5 log reduction of the spores, 7.3 minutes is required for thermal pasteurization at 90 degrees Celsius, and 25 minutes at 85 degrees Celsius, and 99.2 minutes at 80 degrees Celsius. For the second result, we investigate the effect of soluble solid between 11 to 20 Brix as mentioned previously. As can be seen that by increasing the soluble solid contents, we can see the time required to inactivate 5 log reduction of the spores also increase. For example, 8.8 minutes at 15 Brix was required, and 9.9 minutes at 20 Brix also required. And the last result, we saw the effect of age of ascospore on the inactivation of the reduction. As can you from the figures that by increasing the ascospore age, the time required to inactivate the spores are also increased. Showing concern for the juice manufacturer about this age of ascospores. For example, 13.8 minutes at 45 days of age, and then 24 minutes at 60 days of age. And then from that figures, we extracted the D value and the Z value. The Z values showing still the most common reported in literature. The range is still in the common range. The most important thing is, as can be seen from the graph, for example, for 30 days, the D values is showing here for 90 degrees Celsius is 1.45 minutes. It's only for 1 log reduction. If to inactivate 6 log, we need 8.7 minutes. Commonly or usually the juice manufacturer using only 2 minutes processing at 90 degrees Celsius to pasteurize the juice. So it means it is a concern. The time is not enough. The time is not enough to pasteurize juice. Is this ascospores is available in the juice, so it will cause spoilage concern, and the shelf life will be diminished. So to conclude that pineapple juice was successfully treated by thermal process, and the 80 and 85 degrees were not enough to inactivate these ascospores. And thermal process at 90 allow minimum 5 log reduction in short time. And the concentration of soluble solid and age of ascospore influence the inactivation, in which the higher the soluble solids and the higher the age of ascospore will increase the resistance of this microorganism. So finally, thank you for your attention. Any questions? Is there any question? Okay. If there isn't any question, I would like to move to Winal.
Okay, I'm ready.
Pak Juandi, you have a question?
Yes, Evelyn.
Yeah,
One question for you.
Yes.
This is I hear from you. You use 3 variable temperatures.
Yes.
80, 85, and 90.
Yes.
Why use? Can you conclude about?
Yes.
What is optimum value? What temperature can get optimum value?
For thermal processing, actually, the highest value that you use, the better, the best. But we don't want to decrease the quality of juice. We don't want to decrease the quality of juice. So we use the temperature that the range, the temperatures that commonly apply in industry, Prof.
Okay,
So at this temperature, it doesn't decrease the quality.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. You're welcome. So we move to Winaldi.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, please. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, presenters. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. I want to explain about my paper. The title is Mathematics Learning Results Using Android Application for Online Learning During Pandemic COVID-19. The paper written by Dr. Anda Yunita Rosa, PhD, Dr. Maimunah, MSc, and me. Okay, we know that COVID-19 is very dangerous and make many people afraid and make our head is the WHO announced the COVID-19 outbreak as a global pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic leading to the total closure of schools, universities, and colleges around the world. many students cannot study properly because of COVID. One effort that can be done to keep educational activities remain ongoing is to implement an online learning system. In fact, the implementation of the online learning process still has some obstacles, especially in mathematics subject. Teacher, as a leader of learning process, must be able to ensure the learning activities continue and are carried out even though students are in their homes.
Sorry, Winaldi, have you share your screen? Are you already?
I was share my screen.
PowerPoint, yes, yes.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Share screen.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay. Okay. I continue.
Okay, please.
The use of Android application accepted improve the way of presenting the content and students' understanding. The advantage of Android application are easy to carry, practical, providers interesting visualization, and easy to use. Based on the above finding, learning resource need to be designed that can be used for Android learning during pandemic COVID-19. The methodology in this research is use AD model. The first step is analyze and then design, the third develop, implementation, and evaluation. Result and discussion. Analysis stage. The analysis phase include problem analysis about the learning condition. It found the learning resource for online learning is needed for the continuity of learning activities in the effort to improve student mathematical critical thinking skills. The material covered was the enumeration, permutation, and combination. Analysis of student character also showed the tool need to develop learning results. Uh, the second is design stage, designing application logo, and then designing a map of learning results that contain and overall pictures of contents. And then the design of the background determine the type of font size, slide size, and naming of the resource application. And then the fourth, designing of learning content that consisting of video animation, sample question, exercise, summary, and competency test. The five, collecting various types of reference, and the last, designing instrument to be used in developing learning results. And then in development stage, the development phase is the process of coding for learning results that have been designed in the previous stage. The coding process is done using a computer device with the Android Studio application. The coding process requires a computer device with a minimum of 4 GB RAM and Core i7 specification. The mathematical learning resource using by Android contain to main menu, introduction, user guides, basic competencies, concept map, learning activities, summary, competencies test, and about other. Okay, this is a sample of product. This picture. We can look. The first is logo, and then beranda, introduce, kemudian and then basic competencies, exercise competencies, and about other. Okay, WinMath is name given to mathematics learning resource using Android application. Is learning resource application can be installed to any Android device, so that it can be used as learning resource in distant learning activities. Development of learning resource is based on the analysis of problem in learning mathematics during the COVID-19 pandemic period. The use of the Android application as a learning medium is considered to have many conveniences, such as practical, effective, able to interesting visualization and can be used at various places. Okay, I think just this where I can explain to you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Are there anyone who would like to raise question?
Evelyn, I
Yes.
have a question.
Yeah,
I have a
please.
question.
Yes, please, Prof.
Okay. Will Naldi.
Okay. Hello?
Okay, Rinaldi.
Okay, I stop share. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, my internet problem here. Okay, Rinaldi. This research is So I don't see yet.
Sorry, I can hear. Hello?
I see from your presentation. I don't see how to apply your research in the school.
How to?
How to apply your research in the school? Can you hear me, Winaldi?
Okay. How to apply is what is mean apply?
Has it applied? Has it applied at school?
It's still just still until stage 3. Develop, analyze, design, and develop. Just until that.
Okay. Are there any weaknesses with the Android?
Not.
Are there any weaknesses you find with that Android application?
Weaknesses? What is it?
Weaknesses, kelemahan, weaknesses.
I think if the student do not have Android, it's become a problem.
One of the weaknesses, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I think.
Sorry, problem our internet here.
Yeah, it's alright, Prof.
So, how to solve this problem, Winaldi? Maybe not every student have Android, you know?
I can hear, Mr.
Yeah, that's what Pak Juandi said. Not every student have Android, have the mobile phone.
Yes, mobile. Yeah. So how to solve the problem?
I think they can study by a group.
Do you have other opinion, maybe? Yeah.
Okay, I think if the student didn't have the Android, they can study be a group with group.
This okay. This is a conventional, conventional teaching, yeah. Okay, Evelyn. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Juandi.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone? Any other questions?
Yes, I have one question, please.
Yes. Pak Ridwan?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, please, Pak Ridwan.
Yes. I'm sorry, I am Azmi.
Oh, Azmi.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. Yep. I have a question. Do you plan to use this application for Indonesian only or for international use? That's my question.
Okay. My application is still now for Indonesian only, Mr.
Okay, okay. Because I see it in only in Indonesian language, but
Yes.
if it is, you feel it is useful, I think I suggest you to improve it and make it for international use. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, any more questions?
I have the question.
Yeah, please, Anissa Putri.
Okay. Can your application using with iOS or only Android?
Oh yes, this is just for
Yes,
Android,
good.
not for iOS. Apple can use it just for Android.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, because many students now use Android.
Okay, thank you. Any more question? If not, thank you very much, Winaldi, for your nice presentation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's move. Since Asmi is here, Nur Asmi?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
I'm here. Yep.
Yeah, are you ready to present?
I think I'm on the next session, right, ma'am?
Yeah, because some presenter were not available. Shall we move?
Okay, 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 okay.
Are you ready
So
or?
we move. Yep, we move the schedule, right?
Yeah, yeah. Are you
Yep.
ready?
How many minutes do I have, ma'am?
Uh, because there's still another 30 minutes, you can have 15 minutes.
Okay.
With
Right.
including question and answer.
Yep, yep, yep. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. Nur Asmi Prasetyo will present their paper titled Early Detection of Dengue Hemorrhagic Fever or DHF using feed-forward neural network with gravitational search algorithm. Please, Nur Asmi.
Yeah. Bismillah. Thank you for the chance. Before, I'm sorry because I cannot turn on my camera because of some technical problems. But I think it's okay because I've already shared my screen. I think. Can you see it? Sorry.
Yes, it's very clearly.
I see. Okay. Bismillah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the chance. Here, I'd like to present my research about early detection of dengue hemorrhagic fever or DHF using feed-forward neural network with gravitational search algorithm optimization. The research is conducted by me and Hasbiasin and Budi Warsito from Diponegoro University. Right. First, I would like to explain the research in a brief. Well, it's began from the problem of health. Health, we know it as important part of our life, and it is also as an indicator for progress of country development. But yet, there are some health problems we can find in Indonesia. Yep, one of it is dengue infection, or in Indonesian language mean demam berdarah. Yeah, the clinical symptoms of dengue infection is so resemble, so we need to write diagnosis very clearly. And in this research, we experiment the gravitational search algorithm, or GSA, as optimization method to find the optimal weight of FFNN, or feed-forward neural network, and the accuracy gain is 0.73, and it is I think it's good enough to some classification problem. Right. Here's the introduction. Yeah. What problem do we want to solve? Yeah. The problem is that there are so many cases of dengue hemorrhagic fever, and briefly, I can tell that 1,000 about 1,000 death cases in 2016, the data from our Bureau of Statistics. And that was the latest data provided in Bureau of Statistics. And we think that this problem should be solved right and efficiently, then the country development could be faster. Okay, and what do we experiment? We try to implement gravitational search algorithm as optimization method to use neural network, and the last goal is to classify using AI and to predict to do an early prediction of dengue hemorrhagic fever case. And we hope that the research is helping the government to move forward in the HF handling. Well, I like to explain a little bit about GSA, or gravitational search algorithm. All right. Okay. GSA is inspired by the Newton theory about gravitation. You know, it is very familiar, and it is from the physics field, I think. Yeah, but it is sometimes explained well in general classes. Yeah, the theory sounds like every particle in the universe attracts every other particle with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. GSA can be considered as collection of agents, right? Because there are so many agents used in optimization method, just like usually. Yeah, firstly, the agents attract each other by the law of gravity around them. Yeah, and agent in GSA is defined as below, right? As we can see on my screen, right? Yep, X here is as an agent, and there are D dimension and so many agents based on the necessary we used to build the FF and N. All right, basically this research is it's like combine statistics and physics, I think, because um, it is using physics for statistical problem. All right, this is the familiar gravitational function from Newton theory, right? And it is, I think, detailed to explain in this chance. Yep, and also this optimization method use another physics language or physics law gained from Newton law of force. Yeah, as we know familiarly. A equal to F or force, and M as masses. That's it. Okay, and just like every other agents in optimization method, because it is in physical field, yeah, every agent have velocity and position, yeah, and masses too, and it is calculated as below, right? Yeah, yeah, and as usually there are so fitness function. Yeah, this is the advanced form of mean square error, just in a different form, right? The right value minus the predicted value and divided by the counts of the agents, or the counts of the data. All right, and the best fitness is because it is mean square error. Yeah, the best cases is the minimal or the minimum error, and the worst is the highest error. And the last, we should normalize the mass with with the pattern below. Yeah, in brief, I can tell that GSA is explained as the first is generate initial population, and then we should evaluate fitness of all agents, right? And update all the variables on the functions and calculate masses and um, acceleration, and then update the velocity and position. Yeah, and when the iteration is not achieved yet, it still keep moving. It's still iterating there until the last of iteration is achieved, and then the GSA can show the best solution. Right. Simply the methodology I used is first the data description, right? The data used in this research is obtained from the Gurujo District Hospital of Semarang. Yeah, it contains 414 medical records of DHS sufferer in 2016 with a level proportion of dengue fever, DHF, and dengue shock syndrome, right? Um, Generally, there are three kinds of dengue infection, as including dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever, and dengue shock syndrome. Respectively, it has the proportion like in the screen. Okay, this classification, I used 5 features, including age, platelets, initial hematocrit, inversement hematocrit, and inversement hemoglobin. It is based on the data I gained from the hospital. And then I combine this FFNN, I combine this neural network using a method of threefold cross-validation to make sure that the obtained result is the best result of GSA usage as optimization method. Well, this research doesn't do anything about handling the unbalanced data. You know, the data is rather a little bit unbalanced, but it is not done here. In this research, in this chance, I prefer to measure the power of GSA itself, and prefer not to combine it with any other method. So I can see the effectiveness of the GSA as an optimization method. Right. Result and discussion. Right. This the structure of neural network we built. We have 5 units of input layer and 5 existing variable, and 15 units of hidden layer. And the last is we have 3 units of output layer. Well, briefly, the research consulting, the research resulting result that is training and testing table. Here in the left is table of training. We can see the fitness or mean square error, right? From this research, we can gain conclusion that from the training process, we gained some error which is not very different each other. Yeah, it is drawing of 0.3 until 0.4. All right, this fault mean it's fault on cross validation method, right? And here on the right is table of testing process. Also here we have 3 faults because we use 3-fold cross validations, and with the accuracy as below. All right. And the last is conclusion. Yeah, and suggestion maybe. The best accuracy value of DHF in the case of early detection of using neural network optimized with GSA is 0.73. The accuracy value is concluded as good value, and the accuracy value proves that GSA could be used to optimize the calculation problem using neural network as well. And the other conclusion is that GSA is good enough to do in everyone's research about neural network. But obviously it is based on the cases and the data character. All right, and the very last is we suggest to do advanced research using GSA and to combine it with unbalanced data handling, because sometimes when the data is unbalanced, it can affect the effectiveness of the neural network. And I suggest to combine it just like with hybrid method or something else, the other method, whatever, to obtain the better result. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nur Azmi, Prasetyo. Would like to invite everyone to ask question to Nur Azmi. Any questions?
Okay, Felin.
Yes, Pak
I
Juan.
have question
Yes, please, Prof.
for Azmi, yeah? Azmi.
Yeah, Azmi.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
This very nice presentation.
Thank you.
This is application of Newton law, yeah, Newton law. Okay.
Right, correct.
Newton law. You use Newton law for study about health, yeah, about health. So,
yes.
can you explain to me how effective the study, to get the good result about detection, yeah? How to detect the object. Maybe this how effective this method to detect object, something object.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Can I answer, ma'am?
Yes, yes, please.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you for the question, sir. Here, I want to try to answer it. Right. How effective does the method to do classification about DHF? Right. In this research and with the kind of data which was I explained before, it can the accuracy of the calculation. I'm sorry, the accuracy of the classification is 0.3, right? 0.3, and based on study of statistics, and yeah, as we know, there is a theory that this value is concluded as good value, sir. But I think, right, before I want to tell that I have done some research too using this data, but the other method, right, and it gained the same or the similar value of accuracy. So I can conclude that GSA, which is inspired by Newton law, is good enough to do classification for any other cases, and it is I recommend to to other researcher to use it as optimization method because it gained the good value of accuracy of classification. That's it, sir, I think.
Okay, thank you, Nur Asmi. Any more question? Any more question, Prof?
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Right.
enough.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Prof.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Because 15 minutes left, we will thank Nur Asmi for his presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, I will call one more paper for the first sessions. Since two papers from Lamberto Troncis are only voice PPT, I will move to second sessions. For the first session, is Bobby Rahman already available? Bobby Rahman? No, still no. So I will invite, how about Bahrudin, already available?
Ma'am, ready,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Bahrudin paper is titled Molecular Weight of Liquid Natural Rubber, or LNR, products of the chemical depolymerization process from high molecular weight natural rubber latex. Okay, please, the time is yours.
Okay, correctly. Before I start to presentation our research, I am represent Mr. Bahrudin, our leader, because he got some activity. So today I will represent Mr. Bahrudin to continue presentation of our research. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Today I will presentation our research about natural rubber. The title is Molecular Weight of Liquid Natural Rubber (LNR) product from the chemical depolymerization process of high molecular weight natural rubber latex. This is our team. First Bahrudin, second it's me, Ivan Padilla, and third Septian, Mr. Septian, and fourth Mr. Viranata, and last Ma'am Ida Zahrina. They are from the Department of Chemical Engineering, Universitas Riau, Pekanbaru, Indonesia. Before I presentation about methodology of our research, first I want to introduce about what is the natural rubber and what is modification of natural rubber. Modification of natural rubber is process to manipulate the structure of natural rubber molecules into natural rubber molecules with characteristic materials or different materials. This modification aims to improve the characteristics of natural rubber to expand the use of natural rubber as a raw material for a product. So this product will best product to continue product we can use. The process can occur by several factors: heat, energy, mechanical energy, UV, and degradation or oxidizing agents. And then liquid natural rubber is the product of depolymerization in natural rubber. And we know base of natural material is latex, and we make something product, best product is liquid natural rubber, or we can call LNR. LNR with low viscosity is relatively easy to penetrate the surface pores. The adhesive power is relatively more durable and can be used to make products such as glue, paint, furnish, and printing ink. LNR can be used as plasticizer, additive, and precursor for new materials. These products generally made by chemical oxidation process, thermolysis, and photogradation from natural rubber latex. The study showed that the final natural of the LNR is affected by the degradation method, the chemical edit, and the degradation process condition. This research focused on studying LNR production by chemical method, especially related to the effect of COCl2, catalyst level, and degradation chemicals Na and O2 on the molecular weights of LNR products. This is a process of depolymerization. We can see H2O2 used to be the material of degradation, and NaNO2 used to be material degradation too. The natural rubber depolymerization process can occur chemically through oxidation reduction, atau we can call redox reaction. In the redox reaction system, the compound which generally acts as an oxidizer is hydrogen peroxide, while the reducing agent is nitrate NO2 bin. The added hydrogen peroxide will degrade molecular chains through the formation of OH free radical compound. And hydrogen peroxide compounds will also undergo a proportional reaction to warm water and oxygen characterized by the appearance of gas bubbles in the mixture. While the sodium nitrate compound added to the latex also undergoes a free radical formation reaction that will attack or break the rubber polymer chains. And we can see the H2O2 use the degradation to cut or to break the rubber polymer chains and until rubber polymer chains be soft before degradation. This methodology and this material, we use latex natural rubber and then we use natrium nitrate and we use hydrogen peroxide, COCl2 we use for catalyst. And this is procedure. First, we must preparation of material, and second, we must preparation latex. Before we use latex, we must preparation. Latex, the latex what we use is latex which analyze the RC. Before we preparation latex, have DRC 30%, and after we preparation latex, DRC is 20%. Depolymerization, and then we can use latex to make LNR with the polymerization process. This is we use variated COCl2 with 0, 1, 3, 5 PHR, and we use NaNO2 0, 2, 3 PHR. PHR is per 100 rubber, so 1 PHR is 1 per 100 rubber gram latex. And then after we produce the LNR, we must purification LNR from the waste or from the NaOH air and NaNO2 and H2O2 material waste. Last, we dried LNR in 60 derajat Celsius, and we can analyze LNR with GPC, or we can call gel permeation chromatography. The result in this graphic, we use variety of time. The graph show a decrease in molecular weights, or we can call Mn or average molecular weights, and Mw is average molecular weights too. It's the time the polymerization reaction increase. This show that the increase in the polymerization reaction time cause the polymer chains to degrade more. The more degraded polymer chains, the lower the average molecular weight of the polymer product. And the second graphic is variety of concentration NaNO2 The graph show LNR molecular weights tendency to decrease with increasing concentration of NaNO2 degradation agent without using catalyst. The lowest molecular weights of LNR with Mn molecular weights average molecular weights is 2x million gram per mole. And then after we depolymerization, the product will 566 100,000. And the last graphic is the graph show LNR molecular weights tendency to decrease with increasing COCl2 for catalyst concentration. Using COCl2 catalyst could reduce the molecular weights of LNR products. COCl2 catalyst serves to increase the activation energy in the natural rubber latex depolymerization reaction, so that the reaction took place faster than without a catalyst. The lowest molecular weight of LNR was obtained at Mn 0.108. We convert to million, and so 108 million gram per mole, and at a COCl concentration of 5 pHr. The conclusion in this presentation is the molecular weights of liquid natural rubber or LNR products influenced by the length of reaction time, the concentrations of NaNO2 degrading compounds, and the concentrations of COCl catalysts. The lowest molecular weights of LNR products produced in this study is 108 gram 108,000 gram per mole from the initial molecular weights of 1,000,000 turn 8 gram per mole, which was the duration of the 8-hour depolymerization reaction. NaNO2 4 pHr and COCl2 5 pHr contents. Maybe it's my presentation. Thanks for attention. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you. Are there any questions for Bahrudin, represented by Ivan Fadila? Ivan, are there any standards for this molecular weight to achieve common range?
Maybe after we look many paper,
yes,
maybe under 550,000.
Under 50,000.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your information. Any questions? No? Okay, thank you very much, Ivan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next session actually will start at 3:30 p.m. But from what I see from the schedule, the last session only Nur Islami has not presented. Nur Islami is who represent Nur Islami? Already available? No? Just checking. Not yet. Yusra Auliasari already available? Or Baby Rahman? Okay, I will see in the next session then. So thank you very much for your participation and attention for the first session. I'll see you in the next 30 minutes. Good afternoon.
pakai ini, pakai Prezi atau PPT kita nggak bisa menggerakkan, enggak. Kita harus download apalagi konten di luar itu namanya apa namanya? Apa namanya? Yang gambar-gambar gerak atau itu susah kita. Enggak, Mas Abang ini kalau kita pakai Zoom kan tahu kan penggunaan Zoom gimana. Jadi intikan kita. Iya, tapi kalau misalnya gini loh, kalau misalnya kita lagi PPT, complicated apanya? Biar apa PPT, tapi idenya apa? Oh ide? Ya. Ide aja. Prezi bisa nonton. Ya. Solar panel aja. Karena kan lagi booming batu bara. Iya, solar panel membutuhkan kos yang besar dan itu menampung. Mana Abang coba mau pakai di tempat usaha Bang? Pertama itu nggak efektif karena biaya perawatannya besar. Terus kita membutuhkan aki untuk penyimpanan baterai. Di situ, di mana titik yang bisa menimpa kekurangan itu. Ya, dari
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.